Welcome to the Associated Guest. I am always your host, Alfie Animus, here at the Bear in Mind Network. Today's docket, Final Fantasy Remake Director makes some very Marvel-esque demands, as in, don't look at the source material. Xbox apparently is becoming the new Sega. We'll jump into that a little bit, and we'll check and see what Steven Crowder said over the weekend. All right, let's go ahead and get started with Miss Vera Dark over here on Final Fantasy VII. I've played the first one. I need to play the second one because the first one was a nice twist.
When developers tell you to play their remake of a title and completely avoid the original, it's usually because they don't want you to know how much their version sucks or how different it is from the title that was so popular in the first place, and that is what is happening right now with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I think it is absolutely wild that this developer is basically telling you, please don't play the original beloved game and play our new modern title. And I know there are a lot of fans of the Final Fantasy VII remakes out there, and that is perfectly fine. I quite enjoyed them, though they are pretty different. But unfortunately, it seems that there's not a lot of respect going on right now for the original, and it's basically just shut up and consume modern content. So this is an article.
I will say that that is true for most companies. Bo DeMaio, the great, the mighty Bo DeMaio, the director of, the showrunner for X-Men 97. He's also the person who blew the whistle on what was happening behind the scenes there and with the Witcher show on Netflix. He is saying that, and what's been speculated and leaked for almost a decade at this point, is that people are being told not to watch the source material, not to know anything about comic books, regular books, anything. Imagine if this was the same thing with some of those shitty young adult novels. I mean, I'm sure it is to some extent, but that's just adapting. You have to leave some stuff behind. If this was the same case for like Harry Potter and you didn't switch a bunch of Dobby stuff to Neville in the fourth book because the fourth book is so massive, you do that for time. You don't do that for anything else. I mean, you could have broken it into two movies, but it would have been weird to do that in the middle. You know, Goblet of Fire, Part 1, Goblet of Fire, Part 2. But as someone who's played, and at least through the first game, the Final Fantasy VII remake, it's not really a remake in the traditional sense. It's a remake. Like, it's taking the word and spinning it, which I love if they pull it off. As of the end of the first game, I haven't played the second one again. I need to. I need to go through the first game again. I might actually stream it. But it's fantastic. I love the variants. It's basically, well, I won't say it here for spoilers, but it's a really cool take. There's a ripple effect caused by basically a glitch in a certain boss battle. Something happens. And it's a remake because it's got to go back in time. It's Back to the Future rules, basically. And things are slightly different because this thing happened. And that's all I'll say.
Article from Bounding Into Comics. It says Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Director recommends new players skip the original and get a first impression from the remakes, and ultimately it's because they can't make money off of the original. I think it is absolutely insulting to say don't go and play the original and play our new version just because they want to make.
I see what he's saying. I see what people are complaining about now. I should have read what was right in front of me. But yeah, telling players to skip the original is kind of slap in the face. Like, because especially the way it seems like it was going from the end of the first game in the remakes, I guess it's going to be a trilogy. It really does seem like you don't have to play the first game to know what's going on, but it definitely helps. And I really, really, really wish that they would update it to at least PlayStation 2 graphics as far as what's going on here. I don't need a full-fledged, fleshed out, modern day, modern fight style version of Final Fantasy VII, but I do wish that they would update it to at least PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 level, and literally just do the same thing, but with PS2 cutscenes. I don't even care about the gameplay itself, it would be nice to be a little crisper, but just throw a few million and remake the game. I want it.
Money. The only
And throw in Crisis Core as a DLC.
reason you got to make this game in the first place is because of the OG that was, in my opinion, way better. It says, though, rather than getting into the RPG classic via its original, now widely available on digital platforms release, hell, they're even bundling it with its Magic the Gathering pre-con commander deck. Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy director Naoki Hamaguchi believes new players would be better served by getting their first impression of the game from Square Enix's current return trip. Now, there are a lot of people who have not taken this well, a lot of people who are definitely voicing how they do not appreciate this mentality, which we'll get into in a minute. But it says Hamaguchi, who helms the remake series alongside the original event planner, offered his eyebrow-raising take on Cloud and Crew's big adventure during a recent interview given to Nintendo Life amidst a larger conversation regarding the upcoming Switch 2 port of Intergrade, which, by the way, I think is going to run like trash. Cyberpunk 2077 has ran like trash. Elden Ring, and also Borderlands 4 were delayed, and I don't see this running well either.
I don't care about Borderlands.
Was at one point asked as to whether or not he would recommend newcomers try this out first before moving on to remake, or would you prefer the opposite, to which he affirmed in a lot of ways that's a difficult question to answer. A lot of people say to me that if they could go back and play the original with no knowledge of the story and enjoy it for the first time, there'd be nothing better than that. The remake is designed to be enjoyed by people who have played the original and know it well, and also by complete newcomers who know nothing about it. So either way is fine. You'll enjoy the game and have a similar experience whether you've played the original or not. And if you have the opportunity, I'd like you to play the remake first and enjoy it as a fresh experience on its own. There are definitely nods in there, so if you've played the original before, you can see how we've reworked things, and that's a completely legitimate way of playing. But if you're not played it before, I'd kind of like you to experience the remake first with the new graphics and presentation and have that be your first impression of the game, which in my opinion is wildly disrespectful. I know he's
I disagree. I don't find it widely disrespectful. This is a much different take than you see from, and like I said, I read her headline and made assumptions without watching this video, as I always do, because that's American. But one, these are the Japanese developers. I trust them a lot more than I do the American developers because, let's face it, American games have been ass comparatively for the last generation and a half, at least as far as gaming generation. But I don't find that disrespectful. I really don't. I hate to disagree with Miss Vera. She puts a lot of work into this, but I just don't find it disrespectful. He's saying you can play the old ones if you want, and you'll have a great experience whether you start with ours or start with theirs. I don't find that disrespectful. Now, if he says completely, you don't need to play it. What game? This game's better. Why would you want to play that game? This is a remake of that game. That would basically be like watching the news, to where, yes, those words are accurate, but not true. But yeah, but this is mostly just people who love the original one, who want other people to have the same love and the same knowledge going into the sequel, technically remade games. I don't particularly find it disrespectful, at least not yet. Let's see if there's anything that will change that opinion.
He's not coming out and saying our version is completely better than that other one, and that other one is trash. He's not going that far.
Okay,
but
you
it's
admit
almost a
that.
Slap in the face. I would always recommend to people, no matter what it is, play the original first, because the original is always more special. It is always more unique. And in a time where Square Enix has an internal ethics department that censors work, yeah, you're not getting the full experience by playing the remake first.
Yeah.
I now almost never think that remakes are better than the OGs. And it says a bold and curious proclamation by any metric. He unfortunately did not provide any arguments to back it up, thus leaving it currently unknown.
Oh man, it's like following Mehdi Hassan on X.
on just why he believes the remake trilogy to be superior to the first entry, which, of course, I think ultimately just boils down to money. They need as many copies sold as they can get, and they need as much money coming in for the remake so that they can continue to make titles like this, so they can make the third game, so that they can make other games in the future. If this remake doesn't make money, they don't have a career at Square Enix. They're not going to be able to make another game like this. So, of course, they're going to recommend their version first because they're making a hefty chunk of change.
I don't buy that because the original doesn't. I mean, it takes a little bit, but it doesn't take that long to play through. Like, you can literally burn through it in a weekend, maybe. It might be. No, it's probably longer than that. I remember. You could burn through it in 3 weekends, like a disc every weekend. It's 3 discs, a disc worth. For the original PlayStation version was, I think it was one of the, not the first, but one of the first big mainstream games that was multiple discs. At least the first one that I gave a shit about. But I disagreed. Like, I think that people should play it. It definitely helps with the depth that they go to make it not only so much a remake as a pseudo sequel, at least as far as I was understanding it when I played through it. It's been years. I need to play through it again. I'll probably do it on stream, even though I suck at the new fighting system.
Off of it, which I just think sucks. I think that this is a very bad mentality to push, and I also think that he could have been a little bit more respectful about it. There are a lot of problems that a lot of people have with Intergrade and also Rebirth. Again, I personally am not the biggest fan of the remakes. I think that the OG stands the test of time. I think it's significantly better, but just taking a look on Reddit, for example, seeing what some people say about it. They're saying a lot of people here are talking about the stories of the games and are missing the real meat of the issue. Final Fantasy VII is a turn-based RPG, while Rebirth is an action RPG. It's not an upgrade. It's a completely different style of gameplay.
True.
About the same characters. Rebirth does not replace the experience of playing the original Final Fantasy VII. It's not the pixel remasters of older FF games or the Last of Us style remake. It is a completely different game. The way you engage in combat, the way you equip your characters, the layout of the game world, the combat strategy, the secrets you find in the game are all completely different story-wise. It's the same characters and settings, but it is a completely different title, and I don't think people communicate that well enough. If you really want to get the experience of playing FF7, you have to play the original. If you don't feel like playing an older-looking game and don't really care about in-depth continuity knowledge or anything, you could jump into the remake, but just know that it does not duplicate the experience of playing the original game. And that's what makes me so sad about the remakes, is that they are completely different. They don't feel the same. They don't play the same. Even some.
Well, and that was one of the things. I'm torn on it because as much as I wanted a straight remake, like an honest to God remake of the original, I was like, why is it taking so long? This should not take as long as it's taking to make this remake. Then I played it, and I was like, okay, well, that's a little different. That's a little different. What is this? Why am I seeing this already? Why am I seeing that already? And then I realized what it at least seemed to be. Again, I haven't played the second game that I think just came out this year, maybe. And I don't know anything about it. I don't care about spoilers, so please feel free to spoil it for me on X, not here. But I think it's an interesting take, and it explains why it took so long originally. Like, I'm pretty sure they probably went through and wrote the full outline of what would be the trilogy in advance. Hopefully, that's what you should do if you're doing a trilogy. Looking at you, Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, but it baffles me how meticulous they were, seemingly, with the Infinity Saga with Marvel. But with Disney, they're just like, oh, this. Anyway, sorry, going on a side tangent there. Moving on.
Some of the story is different, the way that some of the characters act is different, and it's too different. And I wish that they could just try to replicate the original and have a remake be closer in tone and gameplay and setting, just so that people can actually get something closer to that OG experience. And of course, because he said this, that he recommends new players skip the original and get the first impression from
He didn't
remakes, people
straight
are
up
not
say
taking
that.
this very well on social media. Terrible advice. That being said, I do enjoy the new remakes. Please don't play the original beloved game so you don't know how inferior our version is. Wait, so they literally made Rebirth a continuation of the original story and then tell everyone to skip the original? To me, it sounds like the director knows he effed up and that the original story was superior in terms of the stakes, emotions, and pacing. How about no? Absolutely awful advice considering how many things in Rebirth require you to know about them from the original. Are they even done making the games yet? They split them into like 3 or 4 smaller games and haven't even finished them all yet. Yeah, which really pisses me off. You take one single game and then you stretch it into multiples. Like, that is so infuriating. And of course, it's just a way to get more money out of
And it depends, because the first of the remakes was very much stretched, because leaving Midgar is it Midgar? Whatever the fuck the name of the city is. I haven't played it in a bit, sorry. But that's not even halfway. I think it's might be halfway through the first disc. But it's just a prologue. Like, literally, this whole first game of the remake is just a remake of the original prologue with a few variances. And it's masterfully done, I think. But again, let's see if you guys want to give your opinion. Please share it down in the comments. Follow me on X. Go over there and argue with me. Shoot me all the arguments you want. But that being said, I think we're about done with that. They don't really say anything new. So we're going to move on to the Xbox brand.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Xbox
With our new
and
friend,
Halo, and how
Hypnotic.
essentially, the console wars that, in my personal opinion, haven't been around for a few years, they're dead. Like the people that were holding on to the console wars for XYZ amount of years now, you got to let it go at this point. With the revelation of Halo, which, by the way, this is a truly monumental failure on Xbox's part, in my opinion, because they were hyping up this announcement. Something new and interesting is coming from Halo Studio states.
I haven't seen the actual announcement. I'm hoping that's what he's going to play here. If it's just going to PlayStation, I don't disagree. Well, I don't really agree. Rather, I've for a long time have said since Xbox especially has been moving all their stuff to other consoles. If PlayStation was moving it to more than just PC and they were also moving to Xbox, I could understand. But Xbox, the consoles, while superior, yes, have been dead for a while. Let's face it, all their games are on PC, and now they're going to be on PlayStation. That, and they haven't really come out as often, and they've been declining in quality since, I don't know, Halo 4, maybe, and then Gears of War. I think 4 was the last decent one that I thought decently of, at least. Had the best console, special edition console. But I don't know. I've personally been saying that Nintendo should keep doing Nintendo things. Xbox should control the online platform for the PlayStation and the Nintendo systems. They can keep making Xboxes if they want to. However, it's not really good money-wise as far as that goes. Now, them making special consoles with Asus and even maybe switching into pre-made PCs would be an interesting go. Especially if it has like Xbox Live as its main platform. But I don't know. I think Xbox should bow out. Sorry, Xbox guys. I was a big Xbox guy up until Xbox One, and then they completely botched that, and they haven't recovered fully, in my opinion. The only thing that's really good about the new Xbox is how well it makes ping pong balls hover.
Soon for what's coming from Halo Studios. That is literally what they've been telling people for I don't even know how long now, a few months now over on X. And now that we have the revelation of what that is, well, apparently it's nothing special because we have yet another remake. So in today's video, we're going to go over the trailer for the remake, and we're also going to go over basically people's reactions to the announcement, and especially particularly the announcement of Halo officially coming to PlayStation, which is what a lot of Xbox people are not happy with right now. So let's play this trailer first, see what we have going on here, and then we'll get into the rest. Here we go.
Oh, sorry. Oh, he's doing that.
According to the data in their networks, the ring has some kind of deep religious significance. They call it Halo. They
Okay, just gonna pause, say, I hate the new girl's voice, and continue.
believe that Halo is some kind of weapon.
What sort of weapon is it?
One with unimaginable power.
This sounds like PlayStation 1 acting. I just want to point that out. Not that it's been known for great acting, but come on. Oh, it's a remake. I'm retarded.
Fire Team Charlie, we're on our way.
Touchdown! Hit it, Marines!
You know, it's crazy, man. When I look at gameplay for Halo, I just think to myself so many years ago how big Halo actually was, and to see
It really
Microsoft and Xbox fumble this bag is crazy to me. It really is, man, because Halo could have been and could have been as big as Call of Duty was if they just would have actually cared enough. But unfortunately, Halo has completely fallen off as a franchise. I mean, the TV show definitely didn't help. That's for sure.
No, it was awful.
It's sad, man.
Had a couple good moments, but for the most part, it was garbage.
Halo was something so huge back in the day, and now it's just basic. It's basic. Like literally everyone else does it better. That's the problem when it comes to Halo gameplay. Everybody else does it better. Other things have been added to FPS shooters these days to make it more modern, and Halo feels like it's a little bit stuck in the past. But damn, that music was amazing. That music brought back a lot of nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
Somebody order a warthog!
I think the real reason I never got into Halo was because I was terrible at driving the Warthog. Like, driving is what I do best in most games, except for racing games. But as far as like combat games or anything else that involves driving that's not strictly a racing game, other than the kart series, driving's what I do, and I could never handle the Warthog very well. Skill issue, I know, but that's probably the main reason I never got into it as much as most of my friends.
The Covenant are putting up a real fight. The cartographer must be here.
Rock and roll! Rock and roll!
Give them hell, Chief.
God, that looks amazing. Also, I can't see this helmet specifically without thinking about Caboose from Red vs. Blue. I know it's green and not blue, but still.
And that is literally it, boys. So again, like they were hyping this up, okay? They were hyping this up for I don't know how long now. And this fucking trailer is such a letdown. It really is, man, because even though I know Halo Studios has been completely co-opted with certain people that are absolute psychopaths,
yes,
you still kind of think in the back of your mind, all right, maybe you got a little bit of hope, right? Maybe they'll bring Halo back to, some glory day or something like that. But you really shouldn't have hope anymore, because it's pretty clear that they were so creatively bankrupt that this big announcement that they had cooking was just yet another remake of a remake. It's like, why are we seriously? This is what you guys have. This is what you are hyping people up for. This is what you've been going on a social media, nonstop posting spree about. This? What are we doing? Anyway, so now we're going to get into the reaction and the topic about this. Let's go over that. So we have an article here from...
Hold on. Speaking of Halo, what is GameStop doing? What is GameStop doing, man? The hell? People are retarded. Anyway, sorry, but what is GameStop doing? Let's see. There's got to be a lot of hate on this. Delete this now. We see little flags here. You probably didn't anyway. Okay, Mr. Fame. Just cries on a bike. That's hilarious. That's less hilarious. All 34 of those counts were misdemeanors, unless they're added to another charge. That's a felony. But nobody cares about facts anymore. Found liable is the same thing as the O.J. Simpson thing. It doesn't actually mean anything. It just means that he had to pay people. And I mean, these are facts, guys. Like this, and then a man who's in Epstein's files. But he's also the first person to stand up against Epstein. So, and I don't really think that he's in it. I think that he's covering for people who are in it, on both sides of the aisle, because I do think it's both sides. And also Stephen King, who's terrible at X. But oh my God, that's awesome. See, I knew there would be a lot of cool stuff like this. Do the kiss thing. Give him a hug. High five. See, shit like this. MAGA in space. I love this. Halo kissing PlayStation. Are you sure? Xbox sitting in the corner. Yes. I agree. Having multiple consoles without exclusives are pointless. But at the same time, make things a lot cheaper for the rest of us. If there's only one console and Nintendo, let's face it, there's always going to be a Nintendo. But one console plus Nintendo. I didn't care if it was Xbox or PlayStation. I jumped on Xbox. Well, I had a PlayStation first because it came out first. Saw Xbox, saw the original Xbox had much better games. Or at least a bunch of exclusives that I really wanted to play. And I got lost in that for a little bit. That's adorable. Just Dance Vance. No, I mean, I've heard Trump is pretty tall. So that's, hold on. How tall is Donald Trump? Yeah, he's 6'3". That's close. Okay. I'm done. Okay, moving back over here.
PC Gamer with a headline that says Xbox fully surrenders the console wars. Halo is on PlayStation going forward. A fact that just doesn't seem real. Now, me personally,
let's be real. So far, just one Halo game.
I don't know why.
And then a bunch of Gears of War and other stuff. But
why this doesn't seem real, right? And I think that it begs the question, something that Asmongold ended up asking Moist Critical one time, and I got to be honest with you, it really stuck with me, right? Where he was asking Charlie, he was saying,
I thought they were the same person at one point.
Or are you a Halo and Gears of War fan? That question was huge, in my opinion, because when you remove those two games, are you really an Xbox fan? I think a lot of people probably would have said, you know what, probably not, because those two games were so massive back in the day that they literally carried the brand all the way through into multiple generations, and they still kind of even do today, even though they're pretty much dead franchises. Everybody remembers them to be Xbox pinnacles. That's what they remember them to be, right? So it says we've known for ages now that
Halo Infinite was fun, and it was a step back towards where it was supposed to be, but not as huge a step as it should have been. Not anywhere close.
Microsoft, the age of platform exclusive games is over. Xbox president Sarah Bond called exclusives antiquated just this week, but to me, it didn't really feel over until I saw a PS5 logo in the trailer for Halo Campaign Evolved, a remake of the most legendary Xbox game of all time and a PC favorite, of course. I see the logo, I accept it, it's there, I'm even excited about it, but it's weird and melancholy for reasons separate from the Halo Campaign remake itself, which looks fine for an Unreal 5 tech demo. But again, Unreal 5, Yeah, enough said. By picking up a DualShock, Master Chief is resigning his role as an honest-to-God platform mascot and one of the longest-serving outside the Nintendo ensemble.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
see, that's the problem, bro. You don't have a platform. That's the problem. There is no like Xbox platform. When you're out there putting your shit everywhere, you're not an you're a third-party publisher, right? PlayStation is becoming very close to doing the same exact thing.
And they really are. They're putting everything on PC currently after some time, a little bit of time lapse, but everything's multi-platform almost, with the exception of Mario. Well, Nintendo games. Nintendo games will probably never be multi-platform. I was hoping that there would be some unity between them and Xbox. I was really hoping that there would be some kind of micro or Xbox Nintendo of America merger, only on that loose front, and having Microsoft and Xbox handle all of Nintendo's server issues. But
they're not. They're just going to be a means to an end. That's it. Like when it came to PC gaming always had everything, whether legally or illegally. It still had everything. But like the consoles, they were at war for a reason, right? And they were known to be something for a reason. And it's because Xbox had their mascots, PlayStation had their mascots, Nintendo had their mascots, and now history is repeating itself. What happened with Sega when fighting against Nintendo is happening with Xbox fighting against PlayStation. Xbox is Sega. That is where we're at right now. And I don't understand why people don't see history repeating itself, because that's literally what's going on right now. The only person there is to blame is Xbox. Xbox was the one that decided to tell everybody, you know what? Everything can be an Xbox. Your cell phone is an Xbox. Your toaster, an Xbox. Your PC, an Xbox. Your TV screen, an Xbox. Once you go down that route,
more or less,
and you take away the identity of a platform, that's it. Like you can't go back and say, well, I can't believe Master Chief is on PlayStation. Of course it's going to be. It doesn't matter how much of a fan you are of the platform. The platform left you behind. And you just kind of you have to kind of now the PlayStation is an Xbox.
This is pretty funny,
bro. Listen, I remember saying, and again, I understand you're gonna have
Trump
Xbox
making a
ceasefire
between Xbox and PlayStation.
Fucking video. I make a video about Xbox. I get Xbox fanboys hating me. I get a video about PlayStation. I get PlayStation fanboys hating me. Nintendo, they hate me. And if I make a PC video talking about Steam and their fuck ups, they hate me. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna tell you the truth about this situation, okay? These corporations have decided that you're not worth enough. That's just flat out what it is. You're not worth enough. You're not bringing enough money. You're not bringing enough dollars to stay exclusive, right? They don't want to.
I mean, that is pretty true. Xbox doesn't do enough. They don't do enough with their properties. They keep buying new properties, but they don't do anything with them. They haven't done anything with them. I don't know. I'm sure it's been a little bit of time with development and whatnot, but if they're already doing this with their main properties that they had before and they haven't done anything with since Infinite, and Infinite wasn't as much as it was supposed to be, I don't know what they're doing. Why buy properties? I guess so you can just have properties to switch to software exclusivity, or exclusively rather, not exclusivity. It's the only thing I can think of. And I mean, it kind of worked for Sega. You just, got to do more with your properties. But that's the whole thing. Like Xbox has been hemorrhaging money for a long time, I'm pretty sure, especially due to the Xbox One bullshit. But the Xbox Series thing, it's been doing a little better, but not a lot. I don't know, but if they switch to software only, they have to actually do something with the software. And the way gaming has gone lately, because of all the sweet baby stuff, it's not looking great. You need to come out with stuff that people actually want to play and pay to play, like at least the initial 60, or to pay for fucking Xbox Live. It's not looking great for you. But continuing,
relationship, they want to start an OnlyFans and hoard themselves out to everybody.
I mean,
that's just flat out what it is. And I'm sorry if you can't accept it. I'm sorry if you sold your soul to Xbox in this situation or whatever the case may be. But it's not going to happen, bro. Okay, you're not going to stop the girl from cheating. She's absolutely going to take her pants off and get fucking railed by for $5.99 a month.
Holy crap.
That is what's going to happen because Xbox needs it. They want it, and you're just not enough to keep her satisfied. That's basically the best way that I can put it while trying to maintain some level of comedy here. Now, in terms of this, I'll say this. So, in terms of Halo
Right
being
there.
on PlayStation, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Again, only because I thought this was going to happen for, God knows how long now.
Yeah.
I think the only people that didn't see this happening are the ones that are truly stuck in the culture war. Not the culture, I'm sorry, the console war. Although that's part of it too. I think there are people that are stuck in that, and they truthfully believe that the company was on their side with them. Like they're in the same bout, but that's not it, man. If you are not a Nintendo fan, then you're not going to have exclusives. The exclusives are going to go away. Plain and simple. It says it's really a new era. Halo is on PlayStation going forward. Halo Studios Community Director Brian Gerard said on his live stream today, this isn't just a one-off for the series. It's the final bit of proof that even the most precious jewels in Microsoft's crown will be available anywhere and everywhere in the future. And that's just what it is, man. Now, there is an article here talking a little bit about what Sarah Bond said. Sarah Bond has flat out told you that we are seeing people evolve way past exclusives, that she believes that the idea of exclusives is outdated. Xbox has made it clear that all of its games could potentially be ported to other platforms. Listen.
Unless you do it like Nintendo. Nintendo is literally the only console maker that makes a profit off of its consoles. You can see that with the recent pricing. We'll see how that goes for them. But it's true. They're the only ones that make any kind of profit. For the last 2, maybe 3 generations of console making, Xbox and PlayStation has seen a negative return on every single console sold. I mean, that's just a fact. The price point versus how much they sold, I think, came up to a negative on... I haven't researched it in a while. It's been about 4 or 5 years, but the last time I checked or heard anything about it, that's what it was. So they rely on their software to make all their money. It's kind of like movie theaters. Movie theaters don't really make any money from ticket sales. They make their money with their god-awful concessions, which is why it gets to be so expensive. Same thing with movie ticket prices. That's to recap the price, depending on the studio and the movie, so on and so forth, and other negotiations they made. To have multiple theaters for the same movie. Depends on how much the theater actually gets paid for, but that's neither here nor there. But no, this software sells, and this is why Xbox is just kind of fading into the background. Sorry to a couple of my buddies who have been Xbox purist for the last long little bit. Switch to PC, master race, hooah. Anyway, continuing.
You Xbox fans, okay? I'm speaking to you directly. Like I told you in other videos, perhaps this is your first video, but I'm going to let you know.
Perhaps.
This is when you should have known you were fucked, okay? Listen very closely. The moment Xbox announced that they were releasing their exclusives on PlayStation, right? And then they told you that there is no physical copies for Xbox exclusives, but there is physical copies for Xbox exclusives on PlayStation. That is when you should have known that you were fucked.
That was the certainty, the absolute certainty of it all, right there. But it really came before that. Whoever the guy who announced the launch of the Xbox One, that was the beginning of the end. Again, just facts. But that was the beginning of the end. That guy completely fucked Xbox, and the guy who came, was it Phil Spencer, who came afterwards, tried his best to hold up the lifeless corpse that is Xbox. He wasn't that good either, in hindsight. At the time, he seemed much better.
I'm sorry. That is when you should have known that you were fucked. When they said that there was going to be no physical editions for the Xbox games, but somehow, some way, those same Xbox games get PlayStation physical copies. That's when you should have known. Because it shows that they don't even care enough to give their own native fans physical copies, but PlayStation cared enough to allow physical copies on their platform of Xbox games. Unfortunately for you guys, I mean, that's basically where we're at. So
I mean, as much as I like to buy American, preferably, fuck Xbox. Not Xbox users, but the leadership at Xbox, fuck Bill Gates, and fuck you for good measure. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, continuing on.
Tracking every single instance that we can verify that the community.
Who came to the United States illegally from Peru, from the same party and state that brought you Poop Tracker, Democrats in the House
Hoop
Oversight
tracker.
Committee are now announcing that they're building an ice tracker.
Over the course of the next
This shouldn't
couple
be
of
legal.
weeks, the Oversight Committee will be launching on their website a
Oh yeah, sorry. Moving on from gaming news. I'm going to try to keep it pretty balanced, and I'm going to keep the main story to the end, more than likely. Just to keep things good, kosher.
master ice tracker, where we're going to be tracking every single instance that we can verify that the community will be able to send us information on, and it'll be all available in one central place.
This should not be legal.
And the man who made the announcement, Congressman Robert Garcia, who came to the United States illegally from Peru, became a citizen under, huge mistake, Reagan's amnesty policy, and made the announcement with noted awful Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, who, by the way, looks like the worst Guess Who character.
I agree with that.
Does your person wear glasses?
Yes.
Does your person wear a hat?
No.
Is your person a bitch?
Yes.
Are you Karen Bass?
Yes.
Yeah, you knew it! Yeah! All right!
Guess who? It's usually the.
It's a mystery.
It's a no mystery, she a bitch. Mystery soul.
Why even Japanese
No
voice?
need to call Hardy Boy.
It must have been something.
No need to dance it through.
All right, so these segments, I guess we're getting running gags from an earlier segment that they had during this, maybe, where they were doing Japanese accents. Because I don't know what that has to do with Karen Bass, but I do like a good Japanese accent.
Nancy Drew. I have a beach tracker. Beep, 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 beep. It's a her.
Do you think that Japan had their own version of like, Sherlock Holmes or like a Nash Bridges?
No, because they just admit it right away.
Did you shoot a clerk?
That's true.
Hey,
Did you?
this has been CSI Tokyo. Wow! I won't give you the game!
Who are you?
It was me. No, it's a song, not the question.
What's the other Who song for CSI New York?
I don't remember.
I won't get fooled again. It's CSI Miami, but New York was also another Who song.
You act like I watched CSI.
You look like it,
Was
honestly.
Bob O'Reilly? I don't
remember.
No, Bob O'Reilly is, I don't know.
Honestly, you look like you know all the characters from
Yeah,
CSI,
yeah.
Gerald.
But it is another Who song.
It is
Won't
Bob
get fooled.
O'Reilly.
I mean, he does
It's
look like
Teenage
that.
Wasteland.
Yeah, I know, but there's another Who song for CSI New York.
Who are you?
Are you
Yeah, it's Who Are
Are
You?
you Abbott and Costelloing me?
He's messing with you.
I know it's the Who.
Who are you?
I'm Steven.
I really want to know.
Fuck you! Not the dog.
In Japan, they'd be like,
Screw you, noodles, Mr. Giant. How's the weather up there?
I know. I am in the wrong country.
I eat a noodle. Sorry, sometimes I say things to remind me I'm a Japanese. Rice!
Enemy.
What the fuck are we doing?
all right, so this will be cut out for sure for bits. When it goes on YouTube, people will be horribly confused.
All right, back to you.
Oh,
Great
hey, look at that.
minds
It
play
is
Yeah.
on bits.
The tracker is going to help illegal aliens or foreigners, as the Japanese call them, avoid ICE by creating a nationwide database to show ICE operations.
I guess the editor didn't
encouraging
get that
citizens
memo.
to submit, quote, civil rights violations
Yeah, they found
by
me.
ICE. And, of course, our favorite attorney in New York, Attorney General Letitia James. Did you ever, like, it's what's the difference between this and the mafia? At a certain point. Yeah. She just announced a similar tool app is going to be created for New York City. And by the way,
This should not be
yesterday,
legal.
I don't know how this is anything other than unconstitutional. New York State fined a Queens building $55,000 because someone had erected a sign encouraging tenants to contact ICE about illegals. And think about that for a second. They probably saw what happened in Aurora.
Yeah.
They probably saw what happened in a few other. What was another big one? I don't remember if it was
San Antonio,
Queens, but I know there was something in New York. So this is the city where after 9/11 you had on the subway, see something, say something.
Oh.
But when you're trying to protect your own tenants, you have the state fine you. Hey, this person, whoever did this, I would assume it's some kind of a landlord, is trying to help. But you know who's most happy about this? Legal immigrants. Legal immigrants who have entire apartment complexes taken over by criminal gangs. They're afraid to call the authorities because these people leverage your family and hold them ransom. Go back.
And the authorities would literally say, sorry, we can't come out.
Exactly.
Sorry, mayor, governor said, we're not allowed to come enforce this. You're on your own. Eat shit.
Yep. And that's exactly. Go back and watch the Tom Homan interview. By the way, I would put that in top 5 interviews that have ever taken place on this show. Number 1, I would say Stephen Williford, the hero who shot the Sutherland Springs shooter, killed, I believe, 26 people. And he appeared on the show because I think his daughter was a fan. And that was the first time I had to navigate, hey, not pushing, but asking questions that I know you wanted the answers to. And I would put Tom Homan right up there. Was a great guy, was very gracious. And we're going to send him that music video from earlier today. You guys all hung me out to dry, by the way, on that one.
What?
Because we had the Shirley Temple. Can someone bring up the Shirley
Why
Temple?
did I
Send
hang
back
you
to
out
us?
to dry?
The Shirley Temple and the Coppertone baby Photoshop. And everyone here was like, I don't know, man. He's actually, he's the border czar, and we don't want to offend him. And then he was like, I really like that where you had me with a diaper, dog digging my diaper, see my bare ass. Can you guys send that Photoshop to me? I'll show my grandkids.
I didn't say that.
No, you didn't.
No, I was for it.
You're one of the good ones.
I'm almost always for doing what everyone else is against doing.
Yes. What? And by everyone else, you mean
That the one.
This one over there.
Give him.
God, not again.
Racist Photoshop.
Oh, don't have a Coppertone baby.
They do it.
I only see baby.
They do it this. I'm so sorry. Like I need to pre-screen some of these.
So, the response.
I mean, what do I say? Nothing. Just...
You're like a bigger gorilla. With all your back
God.
hair.
Right. I see you in the Congo with.
the voices. None of this stinks.
Like I feel like working on this show would be a lot of fun. Maybe if he's not as big a dick as people who have left the show say. But my God. I'm gonna have to start pre-screening. That's funny.
Pull it up. There it is. See?
Yeah, he loved it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, the real one, that was Jodie Foster, so I'm in good company. Yeah, this is good.
MVP, Tom Homan, for me. Most improved is definitely Marco Rubio.
Yeah, for sure.
But you can see it's taking its toll.
Yeah.
His face
He laughs
is,
every once in a while.
he laughs every once in a while, but he's like,
That's a great impression.
That's Marco Rubio.
Yeah, you gotta make your ears bigger for that.
Yeah, I mean, my hand's small. Like,
That was so silly.
It's like in Deadpool. He's waiting for it to grow back.
all right, okay. So the response from the GOP rep, Brian Stale, said that Democrats would not be allowed to post the tracker on any kind of a government website.
Good.
Look, let's be clear. The real goal from Democrats is they want votes. Okay, they want to buy votes. That's what they have been doing. That's why they screwed around with the census. That's why you look at some of these redistricting maps that wouldn't make any sense unless you take into account that they count illegal aliens who don't give, who cost the American taxpayer, you, the worker, $150 to $450 billion a year. It's why they let out that trucker who just massacred an innocent lady.
They let him out?
At the end of the day, they're losing an entire generation of young men, and they need to find those votes somewhere. So
And yes, they do vote because it's come out that the reason all these illegal immigrants have been becoming truckers is because they've been given driver's license with information not available in some of the slots. These are facts. These have been verified. If they have driver's licenses, they can vote. And they have driver's licenses, some of them, a good chunk of them. We've had how many? At least 3 examples of over-the-road truck drivers in other states, mind you, in states that did not issue these driver's licenses. They've been going over the road, long-term, crossing state borders. This has to stop.
ICE is doing the job that they are supposed to do with a mandate of the masses, well, then they just have to call them Gestapo and intimidate these men and women who are doing a job into no longer doing their job.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be unsuccessful in doing that.
ICE, unmask. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of?
We have a right to
oh my God.
Compile that information and put together a profile.
While she was a better, or at least a less shitty mayor than the current one, my God, she is ghoulish.
Each of these agents that's alleged to have committed crime.
And every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified.
We start the process of unmasking the agents. Even though they're wearing masks, every single one of them has a towel.
I love Beetlejuice around Halloween.
Unmask yourself!
We have a right to know who's doing what, and supposedly in our name, but we believe that they are committing crimes, and it needs to be investigated.
They're not.
No other law enforcement agency in America runs around our communities masked. It's
This
time
retard.
that we unmask ICE.
I guess the caveat there is law enforcement agency, because I seem to remember a lot of people running around with masks.
Yes.
Committing actual crimes, not deporting illegal aliens.
Yeah, it's like they
you know what, that's fair.
completely
That's fair.
gloss over what the masks came out for, because they didn't start. Do you remember? Do you remember when this started that they would show up just like normal, cops or anybody else with maybe some tactical gear on or something like that, or a hat,
and the doxing,
and then oh, that's right, the doxing, when people's families were threatened by these people.
Yep.
That's when they said, well, I guess to be able to do my job, I have to wear a mask so that I don't get killed or somebody doesn't show up to my house and hold my family hostage.
I mean, dying is a bummer.
Not to mention there were hits being put out by the cartel.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, those guys that are nothing.
What game do you
Those guys
think
that are no threat at all.
Yeah.
No, they don't exist. What are you talking
That's
about?
well, not to mention, of course, Charlie Kirk, not to mention the attempts on Donald Trump, Brett Kavanaugh, pretty much everyone who's ever spoken out against the actual Gestapo of the left.
People, man.
I see what you did there.
The people that kind of go and run really far, like these people are literally your enemies. I, for a very long time, have been like, hold on, let's.
They're your enemies.
These people that are asking, these are your enemy. Like, how is Gavin Newsom not your enemy in this?
Here's the thing. What is the purpose of identifying and making public the information of ICE agents doing their job?
Right.
So we believe crimes. Well, then go. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. The left hates our justice system unless they can weaponize it, right? Me too. Believe all women. We believe that ICE agents are committing crimes. And then you know what else they'll do? They'll then go, oh, are you afraid? You need armed security? Oh, you need a bulletproof vest? All we did was post your name, location, and daily schedule and imply that you're Gestapo.
Yeah, you big
and
baby.
imply that you, Charlie Kirk, are a Nazi and a fascist, and you, Tim Pool, and you, Jeremy Corbyn, and yours truly, and pretty much anyone on there. All we did was imply that you are a sympathizer to the most evil regime in recent history.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all we did. And then we made your information publicly available.
Yeah.
Do you need security? I don't know. Mamdani did. He rode a public bus. Did you see that to his debate last night? Rode a public bus with a security detail.
Of course.
You know why the left has to do this? Because the left, it's the same reason they're losing young men. The left has vilified success. The left has made it so that if you work hard and are successful, you still are made to feel guilty of it. So there's no problem with a Republican, with a conservative showing up and like, I'm successful. I showed up in an armed vehicle with security because that's what I need to do. Well, sure, great, if you can afford it. The left has to present as the everyman, even though they're not. And they have far less in common with the everyman. Think about Joe Biden. Think about Mamdani. These are people who have done nothing but suckle at the government teat their entire lives. They don't know what it's like to be fired. They don't know what it's like to pay taxes for things that you don't support, that, by the way, literally preclude you from taking the family on a vacation. They don't know what it's like to lose a good-paying job, a good-paying mid-level job, like, I don't know, trucking, just because someone who managed to fabricate a fake CDL license was cheaper? They don't know what it's like, but they vilified success. They vilified it, so they have to fake everything. Look, I'm just like you. Public transit. This is not new, by the way. When people say the left left me, remember John Edwards? He used to have assistants, and someone can fact check this, assistants, or used to have one of his aides cut out the Armani tags in his suit and re-sew J.C. Penney on it.
Seriously?
Yeah. Just like Jimmy Carter. Remember he used to carry his own suitcase.
Right? Yeah.
It was empty.
Yeah.
I'm one of you. It was empty, and he'd have his security. And here's the thing: you end up,
shells.
Yeah, you place the burden on someone else, like Mamdani on that bus. That means that 5 other seats are taken up on the bus. Just
someone had to wait for another bus.
Yeah. They are your enemy. In this case, you voted for decisive action on immigration, just like we saw in Japan. This is not uncommon. It's not unprecedented. It's actually kind of the norm historically.
Every great country out there has a strict immigration policy.
Yep.
If you look at a country and go, wow, that seems like a great place to live.
Right.
Look up their immigration policies.
Well, in Japan, I was really surprised to find out that they had as much migration as they've had. It's about to stop with their new prime minister, I think they have. Their first female prime minister, who people are naturally calling Asian Hitler. I don't know why people shit on the Japanese so much. Like, they've been cool for 80 years-ish. At least 50. But no, I agree. Now, while I think that nobody's answering any of the real questions or issues, that you should make immigration easier, or at least simpler, you're not going to get any tears from me when someone who's been here for 20 years doesn't speak the language and hasn't even started their naturalization or whatever it's called process. I mean, I kind of do feel bad for them if they live in blue states, because they make it to where they don't need to there. And that's a disservice not only to them, but to regular migrants, the ones that come legally. Because they thought they were good. And as people who don't really speak the language, who are probably listening to their stupid kids, or the government that's supposed to represent them, they put these people in an unprecedented bind. The Democrat Party has not tried to make any of this actually legal, has not tried to do something that could actually pass, like making the immigration process simpler, easier to do. Instead, they've allowed it to happen. They've given incentive to come over illegally, made their little sanctuary cities, when it doesn't really help anybody. All you're doing is pushing the right further and further and further back towards old immigration. And that's not the answer either. It is an answer, and it's something that has become necessary because of what the left has been doing, not really making any changes, not really making any progress, but instead just giving people free stuff at the expense of everyone else, at the expense of people who did the right thing, who came through and got naturalized the proper way. It makes no sense. I very much sympathize with all these people. I know some of them. I wish there was any way, because the right has been looking to find ways to, I mean, they haven't really been pushing, but they have been letting it happen, letting the left run rampant like this. And this is what they do. One side will be lenient, the other side will be pushing, not towards any kind of legalization or anything that would actually help people, but pushing the, like, you're seeing how much they can get away with, basically, until the day that the other side pops and starts pulling back in the other direction. And these people are the ones that get caught in the crossfire. Now, I don't disagree with what's happening. I think law and order should be the way to go about things. But no one ever does the right thing. They do the left or the right thing. No one ever really seeks any real solutions. They seek party points. They seek votes. This is why we need term limits, and this conversation needs to happen. Notice it's mostly old people. Now, I don't know what'll happen if we get younger people in, because the generation that would be in power right now is fucking retarded. But something needs to change. These people are holding on to power. The Pelosi's, the McConnells, the Schumers, all of these people need to go. All of them. I made a whole structure of my term limitation thing to where you can still have a 20-year government career. It should be, I think of what I said, like 3 terms as governor, a total of 8 years as congressman, maybe 8, however long as senator, and then your 2 terms as president. It shouldn't be any more than this. You should not be in any chair cross generations. You can be in one house, one generation, another house, another generation, and then you're no longer valid. And I also do, the same way that Elizabeth Warren was giving Kennedy shit about going to work for any pharmaceutical company after he's done with his current deal as Health and Human Services or whatever it is, HHS. They should do the same thing for anyone. Like Jen Psaki going to work for MSNBC. Kind of just laser cards on the table. And seeing her report, as much of a liar as she is, but we'll circle back to that on another show. For now, we're going to move on. Y'all have a great day. I'm going to stop Mr. Crowder's video right there. He's mostly just doing Asian accents, and we had to listen to that for most of this. But I'll be back tonight to play Outlast for my Halloweens. And I will finish that. I know it's going to go past Halloween, probably. I apologize for that. But, yeah, that'll be tonight for at least an hour. And, yeah, we'll see you for tomorrow's show and see you tonight, hopefully. Also on Twitch. But, guys, please go follow me on Rumble. You don't have to do anything, but if you have Rumble, just go follow me on there so I can start streaming there, too. I'm going to start putting the political stuff on Rumble and Kick, and have the gaming stuff on Twitch and Kick, and then I'm going to start clipping things and just putting the clips on YouTube eventually. That'll probably be by the beginning of the year. Just see how long it takes me to get monetized on at least one other platform and to where I can stream on Rumble. But that's all for today. Y'all, I appreciate you very, very much. Yeah, until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. I'm going to put a thumbs down. I don't usually do that, but it was mostly just